Morning, guys. I hope you're having a good day. As you can see, we are finally going to do the quadratic formula. Now, there are two ways to write the quadratic formula. I use one that may be different from what you're used to if you've seen it before. I like this form, the other form, and right on the top, just so you can have a look at it. And I hope it will explain to you why I prefer this form. The traditional form is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. There's even a little song that goes with that. I'm not going to teach it to you. So how are these two forms the same? Well, if you think about what's inside of a radical here, b squared minus 4ac, that's the discriminant that you've been working on for a very long time. So that's all been in preparation for today. If you look at the instructions, it says for each of the following quadratic equations, identify a, b, and c, calculate the discriminant, and then use the quadratic formula. So let's go through all those things. A, b, and c. A is 4, b is 20, c is 24. I know you all know that. Now the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. I'm going to need to be careful when I substitute. B is 20, so I have parentheses 20 squared minus 4 times a, which is 4, times c, which is 20. 4. You definitely want a calculator for this. I don't expect you to do this by hand. 20 squared is 400. 4 times 4 is 16. And then 16 times 24 is 384. And that simplifies. 400 minus 384 is 16. Now, I didn't ask you this in the paper, but you should remember that if d is a positive number, we expect there to be two solutions. And that's what we're going to find. So now let's look at our little equation up here. It says x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of d over 2a. So let's go ahead and substitute. Let me change color for that. So we're going to have negative parenthesis. What is b? B is 20. So negative parenthesis 20 plus or minus the square root of d, which we just found was 16. And this is all going to be over 2a. 2a is 4, so 2 times 4. Now, there are a lot of things going on here, and we can actually do more than one thing as our next step. So I'm going to do three things, actually. Still x equals, I'm going to turn that negative parenthesis 20 into negative 20. Plus or minus, I know the square root of 16 is 4. And then on the bottom, 2 times 4 is 8. Now, here, we get to what we've been working on the last 2 days. We're going to split this into negative 20 plus 4 over 8, and also negative 20 minus 4 over 8. And we're going to do these separately. Now, negative 20 plus 4 is negative 16, and negative 16 divided by 8 is negative 2. That is one solution. Negative 20 minus 4 is negative 24. Negative 24 over 8 is negative 3. And so, the discriminant told me I was going to have two solutions because it was positive, and there they are. X equals negative 2 and x equals negative 3. So you can see how the reason why I wrote this worksheet in this way is because you're going to need room going across. But that's it. That is the famous quadratic formula. It's actually a really big deal. And it's probably the most important thing we learn in the second semester of algebra. So try number 2 on your own. See if you can go through those steps. Now you may be wondering, why would I do this instead of factoring? Well, the truth is factoring doesn't work all the time. In fact, Factoring doesn't work most of the time. When we give you factoring problems, we choose problems that factor well. But in reality, for most quadratic equations, the quadratic formula is what you would use. So again, go ahead and try the next two, see how they go for you.